The third game to look out for is a game called Blemish. And this is where somebody says, she means well, but she's a bit slow. Or he means well, he's just very driven, but he can sometimes be a bit scary. And of course, the fact is really that he's a bully, but we're too scared to say so, even behind his back. So what we're doing is we're criticising somebody, but only for one small thing, and we're saying that apart from that, they're fine. So we're pretending to be a rescuer, but actually we're persecuting you. So when we say he means well, but he's a bit slow, really we're just saying he's a bit slow, but we're hiding the persecute behind this aura of being a rescuer. And that's why it's called Blemish, because it's only a small blemish that they've got, but that's the bit we're focusing on. So the games players sometimes will then add a bit and say, well, she means well, but she's a bit slow. If only she could see that sometimes we have to get on with things. So we're adding a bit of rescuer at the end so that it really doesn't look like persecute. But really, it's all just to hide the persecute. But it's a lot more subtle than just she's rubbish or he's a bully. It's just that one little blemish. So we can't be accused of slagging them off behind their back. And the difficulty is if somebody's playing this game with you and is saying, you know, he means well, but he's horrible, what do you say? Because if you agree, if you say, yeah, he is a bit horrible, isn't he? Or, yeah, she is a bit slow, you know what's going to happen. The risk is the games player is going to go back to that person and say, did you hear that? Apparently he said you were a bit slow, or he said you were horrible. So there is a risk they're going to quote you if you agree. But what if you don't agree? What if you go, well, I don't know, I don't think she's slow, or I don't think he's horrible. They're going to go, well, but of course you can't see it, you see. So it's very tempting to be drawn in and to agree that they have got that blemish, but it's quite dangerous. And even if you say nothing and you just say, well, I don't know, there is a risk they'll say, well, Chris thinks you're a bit slow, you know, because he didn't actually say it, but I know that's what he really thinks. So your only hope really when you encounter a blemish player is to say, no, I don't agree. And they'll say, well, you can't see it. But then you've got to say, well, you know, that you're entitled to your opinion, but I can't see it. So be careful not to get drawn into the game of blemish, because otherwise it will lead to, have you heard what he said about you? So that's the third game, Blemish.